of balancing savings, spending, and investing. So welcome everyone. And I also want to put it out there that this event is a collaborative event between SP Ghana session and then SP Benin session. SP Benin City, which is also a part of the Nigerian session, and it's organized by the Young Professionals Committee of both sessions. We are all duly welcome to today's webinar. As we proceed, there are some things that I want us to note. Please kindly do well to mute your mic when you join, and then you are permitted to use the raise hand icon, which is part of the features in Zoom. If you have any questions, any question that you want to ask, you are permitted to raise your hand, or better still, just type it out in the chat session where I'll be able to read out for everyone to hear. All right. Okay, so going to the program outline, we will move straight into an opening remarks by Mr. Yao Kudria Sapon, who is the SP Ghana Membership Chair Committee. Mr. Yao is supposed to help us with the opening remarks of this forum. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me as I welcome him to take over. Thank you.
Thank you. Please, can you hear me?
Yes, please, we can hear you loud and clear.
All right, brilliant. Distinguished colleagues, esteemed professionals, and valued members of SP, Ghana and Benin section, Benin City sections. It is an honor to welcome you to this collaborative session between our two sections, a testament to the power of knowledge transfer, sharing, and continuous professional development within our global community. As energy professionals, we are deeply familiar with the principles of resource management, whether optimizing production, reducing operational inefficiencies, or ensuring sustainable energy solutions. Yet, one of the most critical aspects of resource management extends beyond our industry. It is the issue of personal financial discipline, which allows us to balance our savings, spending, and investment effectively. Financial management is not just about numbers, it's about making informed decisions, informed choices to secure our future. Savings provide a safety net, spending fuels our daily needs and our aspirations, whilst investing ensures growth and long-term security. Striking the right balance amongst these three elements is what separates financial stability from financial uncertainty. In today's discussion, we will explore how to cultivate a mindset that aligns financial discipline with career growth, enabling us to make smarter financial decisions. Just as the oil and gas industry thrives on strategic planning, our personal finance health depends on the same philosophy. I encourage everyone to actively engage, share experiences, and take away essential insights that will not only enhance our professional effectiveness, but also strengthen our financial well-being. As we kick off this session, I leave you with this quote from Warren Buffett. Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. Let's reflect on this as we dive into today's conversation. Welcome once again, and let's have an impactful session. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Yao, for sharing your opening remarks. All right, we move to the next item on the outline. Okay. So we proceed to inviting our first speaker, I hope you are all excited. Before we call on the first speaker, I'll urge all of us to stay tuned. Please don't log out. Do well to stay tuned. Get your notebooks ready, get your pens ready. Wherever you want to make notes on, being in your pen, your phone, please get all those materials ready because it's going to be an exciting session. Please help me as I welcome our first speaker, Mr. Abdul Rashid, who is who is the Deputy Manager for Tax Strategy and Planning in the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, mainly in the ENP, which is the Exploration and Production Limited. He is a graduate of accounting from the Ahmedu Bello University, Zaria, Nigeria, and holds an MSc in oil and gas and accounting from a university in Scotland. He is a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria and the Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria. He has served in the National Nigerian Petroleum Corporation for about 20 years in various roles, including tax, GRC, and audit. He has also served in the Nigerian Land Gas, where he has consolidated his expertise in tax management, compliance, risk management, and commercial. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Mr. Abdul Rashid to take over and then be our first speaker for today's forum. Hello, Mr. Abdul. Please can you hear me?
Yeah, thank you very much, Farida.
All right.
Thank
So,
you.
Mr. Abdul, your audience, Mr. Abdul. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Please confirm you can hear me, Farida.
Yes, please. We can hear you.
Yeah,
I can.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I'm excited to be here. So with your permission, I'll go ahead to share my slides, to take up the screen.
All right, sir.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Hello, confirm. Can you see my screen? Hello.
Yes, sir. We can see your screen.
Okay, good.
All right.
So that's it. Good afternoon, our esteemed SPE members, both our colleagues from Ghana and those here with us in Nigeria. So I'm excited to be in your midst this afternoon, just to have a little discussion. It's knowledge sharing. It's some things but it's about maybe we keep reminding ourselves from time to time. And again, when we talk about finance, it's something that's very important, and we need to keep reminding ourselves of the importance of it and how best to put it to use. So, without much ado, the topic for today is financial mastery for young energy professionals. So, and this is the snapshot of the presentation. So, let me move on. So, for introduction, we start with the effective management of finances, and that is what uh, financial mastery is all about. So we see the core of financial mastery, lies in the ability to manage finances wisely and strategically. You have to manage it wisely. So those two words, wisely and strategically, very, very important. For our colleagues in the economics fields, they'll tell you have to hold money for three motives, for three reasons. The first, they tell you transactional. The second, they will tell you for speculative purposes, you know. So another one, they tell you for precautionary purposes. So when you get money, definitely for the transactional, it happens, you eat, you know of it. But for the precaution, what will happen tomorrow, you do not know. So there's need for wisdom, and that's what so we have to do it wisely, and also you have to do it strategically. And when we talk about strategy, we are talking about two things. Number one is strategically, you talk about long term. Strategy talks about number one, long term, and also strategy talks about the best way to achieve your goals. So these are the key things: doing it wisely and strategically. So we're now seeing the core components of financial mastery. Four things. We'll talk about budgeting, savings, investing, and future planning. So these are the key things. So in budgeting, you need to create and maintain budget, and you need to track income and expenses. That is very key, both at individual levels and at business levels. But here we're talking about at individual levels. You need to do that. It's not only the business that does budget, an individual also does a budget. So you create a budget, you need also to track, not just creating the budget, you need to track your budget, your income and your expenses, you need to track them. Then we talk of savings, building a savings habit. So you need to have that. Whatever you earn, you need to make sure you save part of it. However little it is, you need to make this for reasons we have mentioned and we will still mention in the course of this presentation. So ensuring financial security, preparing for unforeseen circumstances. For if you do not save, definitely one is bound to face financial embarrassment. So, however little, it is good one because we mentioned from the beginning, we talked about holding money for reasons of transaction, for reasons of precaution, and for reasons of speculation. At least, if not for anything, for reasons of precaution, you have to save money. We talk about investing also. What you save, eventually you'll have to invest. So making informed, you need to create wealth from your savings. Savings on its own sometimes cannot give you the required uh, wealth, but you have to invest your savings because over time we have seen that the savings, the rates, the income you generate or returns on your savings may not necessarily be able to tackle the loss of value through inflation. So, but when you invest it, you are most likely going to match inflation or even beyond. So, and also we have future planning. So it is very key. These are the four components: budgeting, saving, investing, and future planning. Don't forget we talked about earlier wisely and strategically. So good. So the next is balancing savings and spending. So see, we talked about establishing a budget earlier. You have to create a detailed budget. You need to, after doing your budget, you need to prioritize savings. Set aside a fixed percentage of income for savings on monthly basis. So if you earn salaries or you are into a business, you need to be saving certain amount. So you need to monitor spending habits. So regularly review your spendings to identify areas for cost cutting. So for individuals, not just businesses have departments and group of people. They send out people on training. They have initiatives that drive cost cutting. So for individuals, you also have to do the same thing in the area of electricity, in the area of your house utilities. What can you do differently to make sure that you save costs? And the saving cost here doesn't necessarily mean saving maybe 100, 10 million, $10 at a go. No. However little you save, when you compound it over a long period of time, it is adding up to a big amount. So this is what we're talking. It could be little amount. The Kaizen approach, if you apply it. Then here we also talk about balancing short-term and long-term goals. You need to have your short-term goals and you also need to have your long-term goals. So for financial mastery, all these are important ingredients, important steps you have to take for you to attain financial mastery. Not just attaining financial mastery, applying financial mastery in order to be better off now and in the future. So now see benefits of financial discipline. So when you apply financial mastery, at the end of the day, you learn yourself, you earn you get to a position of being financially disciplined, because a portion of it has to be saved, you invest, and you have to follow your plan religiously. So security, it gives you security, ensures a stable financial base, reduces stress and anxiety about unexpected expenses. You see some people who earn huge amounts of money, but because they do not have discipline, you see them coming back looking for loans, short-term loans. They want to do very little things come up, and they would not be able to manage it because they have not attained the discipline of finance that they need to. So you have to do that for the purpose of security, wealth creation. We talked about saving. It is from what you save that you'll be able to invest to create wealth. You create wealth through investment. In most cases, you hardly see creating much wealth through savings. Yes, savings has to transit into investment. That's also consistently saving and investing, then building significant wealth over time. Then the last one is when you have financial discipline, you will have a peace of mind. Having a financial plan in place, then better focus on personal and professional goals. So these are the benefits you earn by being financially disciplined, that is attaining financial mastery and applying it. So because financial discipline is a second step of financial mastery. Number one, mastery is you need to understand it. Then when you understand it, then you apply it. When you apply it, then you have the discipline, and you begin to see all the good things begin to happen to you. So common financial challenges that we often face for the young professionals. Number one is the lack of investment knowledge. So whatever your field of study, be it engineering, be it the humanities, you need the knowledge of investment. You need to learn how to invest. So some people take it for granted actually, but it is not something easy. You have to be deliberate to learn the act of investing at your leisure time. Find a way to create some time to learn about investing. Then we have managing debts. So some of these things we have young professionals often maybe carry student loans or credit cards. So some people are very quick in getting some of those credit cards, maybe loans. So when we begin to earn money, so you have this burden of trying to settle the accumulated debts of the past. So debt repayment with our financial obligations can be challenging. So as much as possible, young professionals may try to manage that aspect. Sometimes in life you may not do completely without loans, but you have to be very strategic in thinking of your loans. So, for instance, you can't borrow huge amounts of money for transactional reasons. You borrow to eat food, or you borrow to buy something that doesn't earn you any money. When you borrow probably to buy an asset that generates money, so we're hopeful that eventually the asset could repay back itself. But when you borrow to spend on transactional things, then it becomes a lot of concern. So we're not saying do not borrow, but know the kind of borrowing you want to do and do proper risk analysis. So have planning for retirement. So planning for retirement starts from day one. So usually some people think, oh, when I join the services of a company, I have so number of years before retirement, so I can wait until so. No, no, no. You can start, and so that you take advantage of compounding. So many people who have built wealth over time have worked on the strength of what we call compounding. You take a little amount today, you compound it over many years, the returns gives you a huge amount of money. So this is very, very important, starting early. So many delay savings for retirement due to maybe immediate financial pressure. Do not allow that to happen. Just find a way of creating something. The contributory pensions, thank God we have voluntary in addition to the mandatory. So you can opt to say, okay, in addition to the mandatory contributions, I want to do additional contribution for the voluntary. So now we have building an emergency fund. We talked about it, building emergency fund for precautionary reasons. Things can come up for hospitals, for whatever reasons. You could have a situation, an emergency situation that will require you to spend some money. So you wouldn't want to be running helter skelter to look for the money. So you need to build an emergency fund. Balancing lifestyle and savings. So it's very, very key. Lifestyle and savings. So sometimes because you need to save, and probably you want a lifestyle of 100%, and we are saying no, do not do a lifestyle of 100% of your earnings. Put aside some amount, maybe 20% of your money. So even if you earn 100%, please try and limit yourself probably to a lifestyle of maybe 80% or 70% of that you're earning. Try and see however little you do to save a part of it. And very key is lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation, probably you were earning 10 million before, and all of a sudden you've been jacked up to 20 million, and you want to change your life completely. So, as much as possible, let us try to manage that aspect. Young people usually do have that. You were earning low before, then you are, so you want to jack up, you want to improve your lifestyle to match the current earning. Yeah, it's not a bad thing, but be wise about it and be strategic about it. So the keywords are two: being wise and being strategic. So, and the investment strategies here we're talking about, because do know, you can see the way we are moving in steps. We talked about you earn, you spend, you keep some for emergency, then you save, and what you save you invest. So now the point of investment, we are saying understanding risk assessment. So if you want to invest, don't close your eyes and just invest when somebody tells you about investment. Some of the areas you have to look at: understanding risk assessment. Number one, you need to evaluate risk tolerance. So what is your own risk tolerance? How much risk can you take? So, and whatever, if you do analysis and see a particular risk goes beyond what you can take, then you avoid it. Because when we see goes beyond what you can take, so meaning if that thing happens to you, if it goes bad, you could be devastated. So the risk tolerance is such that, okay, if anything goes wrong to so extent, at least I'll be able to manage it. So you have to look at that in terms of finance, the financial goals, and also time horizon. So what do you mean by this? You could have limits in terms of financing. The okay, for this trial, for this investment I'm going into, if I lose up to 10 million, now I don't have any problem. It will not impact me so much. Fine, so I'll go ahead with it. Then time horizon, I need my money to come back maybe after 2 years. So if it comes back after 2 years, if it comes back within 2 years, fine. I'm fine. I won't have any problem. But if this investment, the returns is going to take more, the return is going to be more than 2 years, and beyond 2 years, I'm going to have difficulties. So meaning it is not within your tolerance limit. Try to avoid it and look for investment that will fall within your tolerance limits, because if it goes beyond that amount of year or that number of years, it could spell doom for you. So try and as much as possible look at that. So we look at portfolio diversification. Try to diversify your portfolio. So the fact that, hello, hello.
Hi, CJ,
Okay,
I can
that's fine. That's fine. So we're still together. Good. I just want to confirm that we're together. So then portfolio diversification. So let's assume portfolios A and B. Thank God, I think we have Nelson on the bar there, who is an investment banker. I know he's going to talk about it later. Talking about investment portfolio diversification, uh, the fact that uh, stock A is the highest yielding stock, it could be risky for you to just put the whole of your money in stock A because it is the highest earning stock. You just, so what we're saying is balance it up with other stuff, because if you go with A and something happens to A, then it could be, the consequence could be dire. So what we're saying is when you balance when you diversify, so it is unlikely that if you invest in maybe five different stocks, stock A, B, C, D, E, that something will go wrong with A, B, C, D, E at the same time. So the more you spread it, the less the chances that everything will crumble at the same time. But the more you narrow it, the more chances that one thing happening could have a catastrophic implication on somebody. So this is what we talk about portfolio. So we talk about active and passive investing. So some people are passive investors. So we say active investing involves frequent trading to outperform the market. So people do active. You hear them making calls on daily basis. Has it gone up? What sell? and some they do it for maybe future gains. And we talked about compounding, the power of compounding over the years. So some they'll buy it for many years. So if you maybe people like Warren Buffett, example of people who have invested and they have earned through the power of compounding. So the next, very quickly, you see long-term versus short-term investment. So we can see from the name, long-term and short-term investment focuses, the long-term focuses over growth over time, while the short-term provides liquidity and security. These ones here, usually we have fixed deposits with that certificate of deposit. We have a term deposit in banks and other things. These are short-term. So then the longer term deposit or longer term investment, an investment of a longer period, maybe 2 3 years before you go for capital gains sometimes rather than maybe dividends and other things. So the importance of financial literacy, very quickly, it empowers informed financial decisions. It achieving financial goals, securing financial future. So these are some of the importance of financial literacy. So when you are financially literate, you benefit from all this. It helps in making informed choices about savings, guides spending, assists in making wise investment decisions, enables individuals to set rich financial targets, provides tools for financial planning. So then securing financial future. I think these are some of the things. So achieving financial goals. Here we see understanding financial concepts helps in setting realistic financial goals. So all these are part of financial literacy, understanding financial concept and disciplined financial planning. So long-term growth strategies. We talked about some of this earlier. We touched on it. Investing in a diversified portfolio. It helps you achieve long-term financial growth, planning for future goals. Essential for sustained financial health includes retirement and home ownership. So all these are long-term uh, investing investing for the long term. And don't forget, we say diversified portfolio. So we have this 50-30-20 rule. 50-30-20 rule, very important. So what we are saying is essential allocation. So out of your earnings, allocate 50% of your earnings for essential expenses. This includes the basic needs. It talks about it. It includes housing, it includes clothing, it includes maybe medicals, food, transportation. So the crucial day-to-day activities, you can allocate 50% to it. 30% discretionary spending. So discretionary spending, allocate 30% income for non-essential expenses. Includes dining out, entertainment, hobbies. You have to take your families out. You have to go out with friends and you need to enjoy yourself. You need to catch fun. And people can come around to seek for your support. That could all be within the 30% discretionary spending. Then you have like 20% savings. Dedicate 20% of your income to savings and investments, including building an emergency fund. So retirement savings, other long-term financial goals. So at the minimum, you can do this. Have a minimum savings of maybe about 20%. So you can see the whole thing is balanced. So for the basic, you can say, oh, we've eaten food and that's all. No, we're saying still allocate under 30% for discretionary spending. You can choose to spend, you can choose not to spend it, but it is good you spend so that you enjoy your life, enjoy your family. And people come around to seek for assistance, you assist them, all within the discretionary spending. And then you see, go ahead to save 20% of your income. So then we are now small businesses, because when you are investing, sometimes you can do directly, you can invest maybe in stocks, sometimes you do business. All these are forms of investing. So for the businesses, we are saying you need to set clear financial goals. You need to prioritize your spending. Don't spend anyhow. Prioritize. Have a skill of preference. What do I spend on? What do I not spend on? Keep personal and business finances separately. Separate is one of the areas people do have difficulty. So you pick up and you can pump in money and take up anything from the business without proper accounting. You are separate from the business. When you pick something from the business, you pay. If you give money to the business, you record it. So then build an emergency fund also for the business. The way an individual has unforeseen contingencies, the businesses too do have. So have emergency fund for it. Learn financial literacy. Invest in growth. Sometimes people do this mistake. They just look at the business. Okay, how much stock am I buying? On all the concentration is on that. There are some other things that grow the business. Things like marketing. We talk about technology, employee development. So however big you invest, if you do not develop your employees, chances are your business may not grow to the level you want it to. These days also, if you want your businesses to thrive, you need technology. And if you want your business to thrive, you need marketing. So that's why we say invest in growth. These things, in addition to others that you may figure out depending on your analysis, will help your businesses to grow. Control overhead costs. As much as possible, control overhead costs. Do not duplicate so many costs you can avoid. Use expense management application software. Yeah, we talked about technology earlier. So businesses try to use applications to manage your costs, because sometimes you may be involved in another work and you have a business. So having technology can really help you to track some of these. So very importantly, we say plan for taxes. Taxes, two things. Taxes, you have the compliance aspect of it, and also you have the business optimization aspect of it. What do we mean? You need to pay your taxes to comply with the laws of whatever clime you are operating in. Whatever clime you operate in the world, they have their tax laws. So you need to allocate some money for the taxes. But in doing that, you need to optimize, you need to reduce. You can reduce the cost of compliance. Probably instead of paying 10 million, there's a way you can work it out to pay maybe 8 million within the confines, within the acceptable laws of the land. That's what we're saying. So, and that's why so many people these days, they invest so much on tax experts to help them. And at the end of it, they pay them maybe a little percentage of what they have saved for them. So monitor and adjust your budget regularly. Very key. So, so before we leave now, I'm leaving with some of these very important quotes on areas of investment and other things of some key individual. Here, Albert Einstein is saying, if you want to live a happy life, tie it to a goal, not to people or things. So tie it to a goal, because sometimes we are fond of doing that. We want to look at an individual and build our life after the individual. No, so tie it to a goal. Have a goal and work towards your goal rather than looking at an individual, rather than working towards a particular individual. Have your own goal. It will really help you. So the key to making money is to stay invested. So this is what we said. We said it earlier in our presentation. Investment is key. It helps you to make money. For savings alone, sometimes the inflation catches up with the savings and even outpaces the returns from on the savings. So, but investing in most cases goes hand in hand or even outgrows the investment in some cases. So, I like the art of making money more than making money. Good. So I like the art of making money. There is the art of making money, and sometimes the mistake we make is we start with I want to make money, not necessarily following the process of making money. There's a process of making money. Follow the process of making money, and you land yourself in money. And sometimes people don't follow the process and they just want to land the money, which is difficult actually. So the major fortunes in America have been made in land. This is by John D. Rockefeller. This is John D. Rockefeller, and for some of us in SPE, some of we in it, we know how important John D. Rockefeller is, the owner of the Seven Sisters. So, the buying real estate, according to Marshall Field, buying real estate is not only the best way, the quickest way, the safest way, but the only way to become wealthy. So all these are giving testimonies of some of the things that have made them rich over the years. You see, going forward, some will talk about stock. But somebody is talking about coming back, being wealthy through land, real estate. So Warren Buffett is saying the stock market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. The stock market is designed to transfer money from the active to the patient. So for the patient, they benefit from the power of compounding. Somebody buys maybe a share some 10 years ago and he hasn't touched it and it is moving, 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 and moving. And at the end of the day, he's having a very big assets in his hands. While the person that is active, yeah, of course they get their money, and maybe it's yeah, I know Nelson probably in his presentation being an investment banker, or maybe we shed more light on that. So Andy Warhol is saying making money is art, and working is art, and good business is the best art. So you can see for this person now it is business. So in all these quotes, we've been able to pick certain things. Stock. Some are talking about stock. Some are talking about landed property. Some are talking about real estate. Somebody here is talking about business, doing business. So this is giving you different ways that after saving, you can put in your money and you could rest assured of getting good returns from it. So lastly, Bavish is saying focus on solving real problems and not on making money. There will be enough takers for your solutions. You will help make lives of some people better and money will come. So I give people example of Facebook and things like former Twitter, now X. The designers of those applications, the initial thought, I don't think they ever imagined they were going to get the money they have today. So the thinking was, how do we solve human problems? How do we get people connected wherever they are on earth? That was the thinking, that was the thought. We have myriads of problems all around the world. Pick one and solve it, and your solution will fetch you money eventually. But when you talk of the money first without thinking of providing solutions, you may not get to the money. And even if you get it, it could be. So here, these are uh, some few maybe websites, some links we provided here. Here, when you go like and in line with some of the codes we have, if you say this finance.yahoo, some of them are talking about the various market mainly in the Western world. Here we have the Nasdaq, then we have the Statista, talking about real estate, you know. Then here we have investing. This one is talking about the also stock market. So just for you may want to go through it to see some of. So if you have any questions and answers, Freda, over to you. Thank you very much. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, is that Nelson?
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Mr. Abdel, for your insightful presentation. So I think there'll be room for question and answers later on in the program outline. So kindly be on the call, and when there is time for questions, you gladly help with answer.
Okay,
I,
thank
I
you.
believe that's okay. It's okay with you. I believe that's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so then the next speaker on our itinerary is uh Mr. Nelson, Mr. Nelson Patata. Yeah.
Hello,
So
sorry. Hello, hello.
so I'll kindly introduce Mr. Nelson. then we will continue.
Hello, Mr. Nelson. Please, you're allowed to share your screen with us.
Okay, thank you, Frida. So I'll proceed and share my screen. So you
Frida,
can confirm? Right? I think there's someone on the floor. You can go ahead.
I think, hello, Frida, you're on the call.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Mr. Nelson, please, you can proceed. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So I'm about to share my screen. You can confirm if you can see my screen. Then yeah.
All right, all right.
The banker. Hello. Hello. Are we
Hi,
together?
I can hear you. Yes, we are.
Yes, good. So, but recently, there is the Virtual Asset Service Providers Guidelines that was released. So, and in that guideline, it's like the instruction of not facilitating the transactions have not been relaxed a bit, but there is still no relaxation of the fact that the banks can hold cryptocurrency assets in their books. So, and I don't there is no any clear cut. And again, the CBA instruction, even when they talked about not holding the asset, they made reference clearly to official financial institutions, to the financial institutions. So meaning for the non-financial institutions and individuals, there was no any clear-cut directive or instruction as to whether they should or not do. So as it is not very clear, but it is tending more towards maybe with time, because even the SEC, the Securities and Exchange uh, Commission, I think it's coming up with a lot of guidelines, and even in the guidelines specifically, they mention crypto in it. So we know it's a matter of time before we begin to see this, because that is the direction the entire world is going, and I know it's just a matter of time before the whole thing becomes very very clear. But while the directions are not too bad, I don't think there's any. The government is really out to maybe crack down on whoever or private individuals that use corporate, I mean, cryptocurrencies. So it is neither here nor there. But the guidelines at the moment are more pointing towards acceptability, especially for private individuals, while the financial institutions are more regulated. So I don't know if that addresses the question. Frida?
Yes, please, it does. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, Kelvin, please, I hope your question has been answered. Yeah. Okay, so I'm moving on to the next question. Still on you, Mr. Abdul, please, you are to answer the next question. So the next person is asking, John is asking, how can you effectively balance short-term spending with long-term saving goals? I repeat the question. How can you effectively balance short-term spending with long-term saving goals? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, John. Like we said, we try as much as possible to codify some of these things rather than leaving them to chances. So that's why I think the both presenters, myself and Nelson, talked about the 50-30-20 rule, which is like a guide. And that is not only helping you in the area of savings, sometimes it also spurs you to know that probably you are not achieving your potential. Sometimes you may be in a particular job that pays you certain amount of money. You could be relaxed. But when you bring in your goals and check some of these things that you need to split your money across these three streams, all of a sudden you begin to realize probably what you are earning is not enough. So sometimes you see begin to think out of the box. Okay, how do you do so? But very importantly, going back to the question and to answer it more directly, how can you effectively balance short-term spending with long-term saving goals? Good. The thing is more of what you want to do. You don't save for the purposes of saving. You save either to invest or you save to acquire certain assets in future. Now you know what the price of that asset is today. If you assume a rate of inflation, okay, if I assume a rate of inflation, like I think there was a perfect example that Nelson gave, a car. Maybe you want to buy a car, and the car this year is 10 million, depending on the country or the climate, the environment in which you are. This year is 1 million. So, and you want to buy it in the next 10 years. So when you apply the rate of inflation and assumed inflation in the next 10 years, how much is that car going to be? So the car is likely going to be, maybe if it is 10 million today, maybe it's likely going to be 25 million. Let's assume in maybe in 10 years, 25 million. Then you have your savings. How much do you think you save, and at what rate of return will give you the 25 million you need in 25 years? Or where do you invest the money to give you the amount of money you need in 10 years? So these are effective ways you can do. Then the next thing, now you have to look at your own earnings. How much do I earn? If you do the 50, 30, 20, will that 20 bit of your earnings give you the amount of money you need? If it doesn't give you the amount of money you need, you look at, is there any way you can make more money to add to it? That's why when you go to places like the UK, go to the developed world, you see somebody working 2, 3 places, to meet up with certain financial goals. These are all driven by the goals and other things. So these are some of the ways you can look at it. Then if it doesn't give you, you begin to think of, then if at the end of the day you look at the income will not be able to carry it, then you have to adjust your goals. So two things is an equation: the left hand side and the right hand side, the income and the outgoing. You look at, yes, you can be ambitious by looking at your outgoing. Then you map it to your income. If your income matches it, fine. If it doesn't match it, it's about doing more to improve your income. If you do more to improve your income, if it is possible, fine. Try all your possible, think out of the box to improve your income. If you cannot improve your income, sorry, the next thing probably you have to go back and readdress your goals. So I don't know if this helps to address the question you have raised. Then you talk, what strategies can ensure your investment align with both your risk tolerance and financial goals? The risk tolerance, some of these things are very clear actually. There are a certain amount of money that over a period you lose and you won't feel, you will not be devastated. So it depends. There are certain parameters as an individual you use. Businesses and individuals all have different parameters they use in rating what amount of money they will lose, and will not be a colossal, it will not have colossal implication on their persons or their investment. You have to decide it for yourself. So when you decide that for yourself, then you have to look at where to go in. How do you go? What investment do you go in? What returns is it going to give you? And be sure that whatever, the higher the risk, the higher the returns. Investment that have very high returns usually come with high risks. So, but if you feel, well, if you lose it, there won't be a problem. You can give it a shot. You can give it a shot. But if you feel it could be too risky for you to undergo or undertake that adventure, then it is better you avoid it. it is better you avoid it, and you also adjust your goals to match what is feasible. That's what we talk about feasibility. Feasibility is very key in the whole thing, because sometimes people deceive themselves. They have a lot of goals that can never be achieved given the parameters they have, except certain things change. So you go ahead and look at those certain parameters. If you can change them, good for you. But if you cannot change, please, a do nothing situation is not acceptable also. So adjust your goals to match your current situation while you make effort to improve your maybe your income in order to be able to update your future or strategic goals to achieve or to get to exactly where you want to be. So I hope this addresses the question of Farida.
Yeah, yes, please, I'm here. John, I hope your question is answered. Thank you so much, Mr. Mohammed. So I will move on to the next question. And
Peter, let me just add something. Even though Mr. Mohammed has really perfectly done justice,
all
let me
right,
just add something to the question from John Kinsey on what strategies can ensure your investment is aligned with both your risk tolerance and financial goals. So in Standard Chartered Bank, as I've indicated, we have a standardized advisory framework that we adopt. So before any investment is recommended to you, we do what we call the risk profiling. There are some standardized questions we ask you. So your responses to it will determine your risk rating. We have a risk rating from one being somebody who is risk averse to six, which is somebody who is a very aggressive investor. And all our investments that we offer to our clients, we have an international advisory team that we carefully examine and research on these investments and believe these are investments that have great prospect before we even globally onboard them and offer them to our clients. And every investment has its own risk profile. So for example, if you want to invest in US government treasury, if your risk profile is two, a very moderate investor, yes, you can invest in US government treasury. But there's some investment, which we see the risk as very high. So if you are somebody rated two, then we will recommend the likes of the treasury bill, US government treasury, even though the returns on these, in terms of the returns, are not that high as compared to the ones that have higher risk rating. Just like Mr. Muhammad Riley mentioned, mostly higher investments that have higher returns usually have higher risk. So in our case, I know most investment asset management institutions, they will risk profile you. There's another way we ask you questions based on your responses. We get to know your risk appetite, or risk tolerance and your goals. So we give you something that matches you. If what you want to buy is above your risk rating, we will not advise. So if you are somebody rated two, you want to buy an investment that is like mutual fund tied to a tech company, even though the returns have great prospect to deliver greater returns, we will tell you no, it does not match your risk profile, and we advise you appropriately. All right, thank you.
all right. Thank you so much, Mr. Nelson. So the our last and final question, um, I'm asking you, Mr. Nelson. So someone is asking if it's possible to invest in foreign companies like Apple and Nevada right here in Ghana and Nigeria, and if yes, can you kindly explain how they are going to be able to do that? Thank you.
All right, thank you. So yes, so in the case of I'll speak for Standard Chartered Bank. In the case of Standard Chartered Bank, Ghana, we don't offer individual equity. So you want to buy only, invest only in Apple shares, Nvidia shares, which is referred to as individual equities. In Ghana and Nigeria, we don't offer individual equities, but of course we have our partners, our international partners through international banking means, which if you want to buy, we can connect you with them and you can buy the individual equities. But in the case of Ghana, we have mutual funds. These are professionally managed funds that invest in these entities. So if you are interested in tech, company, we can get you a mutual fund that have all these tech and other big tech companies included. So it's diversified. So you can buy a tech fund that invests in more than 50 tech companies. And that even reduces the risk, for you. If Apple makes profit, yes, it trickles down to the fund. So indirectly, it trickles down to you. So through the mutual fund, you don't directly invest in the company, but indirectly through mutual funds. So Apple makes profit, it trickles down to you. The same way, if Apple make losses, it will trickle, but it won't hit you hard. Because some of the funds, even the highest company they invest the highest amount in, does not even hold 2%. In some of the fund, does not even hold 2%, where they put the highest amount. So if it tells you that even if that entire company collapses, it will even hit 2% of the portfolio. So yes, indirectly through mutual funds, through Standard Chartered Bank, yeah, we can let you buy any of the tech stocks, any of the tech, and any of the tech funds you want to invest in. We can give you a fund that have investment in this company, even if it's in health care sector. We can give you something, so you can invest in them indirectly to, mutual fund. But if you want to buy a direct shares, yeah, we can connect you to our international banking team, and you'll be able to buy. That is for Standard Chartered Bank. I know there's a few entities of which I'm not allowed to, which we would also deal in this individual equities to Ghana. But of course, as I always say, if we want to do such an investment, first of all, check and see if the entity is licensed. We are licensed to deal by SEC and Bank of Ghana to deal with this offshore investment. That is why we do that. And in Nigeria as well, our colleagues there also have these mutual funds that have this exposure to all these companies. So our colleagues in Nigeria can also do that. Where they want to invest in those individual equities or individual companies, they can do that as well. They can assist you to you doing it to our international banking team, as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nelson. So this brings us to the end of our Q&A session. Thank you so much to
Peter,
Mr.
just a minute, not catching you. I think the person who asked the question, another question is asking, apart from inflation rates, which other factors can drastically affect your investment? So as I've mentioned, yes, if you are doing any investment, you are saving, you want to protect the value of the money. So you always have to factor inflation in. If you are factoring inflation in and then the return is negative, it means it's not worth it. So inflation is key, but also one other thing you need to look at is exchange rate, which I've mentioned. One other key thing is the depreciation of your currency. So if I'm investing in CDs and I'm getting 20% return, if CD is depreciating against the dollar by, let's say, about more than that percent, that means that the investment is not worth it. So one other key thing that could really affect the value of your investment is the depreciation of the currency you are investing in. So you need to also factor that in order to grow your wealth and protect the value of your savings. So just by the way, Frida, just to make sure we don't leave any question unanswered. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Abdul Rashid Mohammed and Mr. Nelson, for this great and insightful moment. We are so much grateful. We are moving on to our next session, which is our quiz session. I hope we are all ready, and I hope we all paid attention because the quiz is going to be from what we learned. So I'll hand over to my colleague from the Benin City session to start with the quiz session. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you very much, Frida. So, guys, just let's go to quiz.com and enter the pin code 987646. So we have two persons that have joined in already. So quiz.com, quiz.com. On our phones or our devices, whichever one. Okay, three persons have joined in. 5, 6, 8. So seeing that we have 24 persons currently online, once we get to 15 persons, we'll start. seems like no new person is joining us. So let's wait till another minute. Otherwise, we start the game. Okay, one more person just joined. So you just go to quiz.com and enter the pin code 987646. We have 13%. Okay, so let's start. So we have Lee and Al. Oh, Big Chet and Kelvin and Lee and Anna in top two. So after 9 rounds of games, Kusnel leading the pack and Dr. Swap following closely. So after 14 rounds of game, so in third place we have Lee. In second place we have Kusnel. So let's give them a round of applause. Everybody
Yay.
that participated and able to answer questions right. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And congratulations to whoever won. All right. So we move to on our itinerary. I hope and believe all of us are SP members. If not, I invite you to join SP. SP is a space where oil and gas professionals, not only oil and gas professionals, not only petroleum engineers, but any other engineer interested in the oil and gas industry is invited to join to be a professional member where you're asked to pay a little token, yeah, annually. And it's a very nice organizations that helps you to volunteer For example, today, me being a moderator, I volunteered to be all with the help of SP. So then I want to encourage each and every one of us to join SP. And those who are already members, I hope you are active members. I hope we are active members. I also want to touch on something, especially with our YPs, our young professionals. I know most of us, like me, just came out of school. Most of us haven't really done the transitioning. I mean, we were sent links where we're supposed to like fill out some questions and answers just to like enable you do the transitioning. So for SP, if you are a new professional member, which is like a YP, you are given a 1 year free subscription. You don't have to pay for your first 1 year out of school. So I want to urge all of us to try and then register, be active. If you have questions, I would direct you to your session, um, not your session chair, your session membership chair. Yes, they are in charge of those things, so you can ask all the questions that you want to ask. But we're also encouraging each and everyone to be an active member of SP. It's not enough that you are receiving monthly live sports and notifications, email notifications. Get involved in the SP, join a committee, and then volunteer. Thank you so much. So on our last but one thing we have to do, I'd like to invite, okay, I would like to invite the YP chair, that is the Young Professional Committee chair for the Benin City session, Benin City Nigerian session, to give us a closing remarks. I don't know.
Yeah, thank you. Good
All right.
afternoon, everyone. Please confirm you can hear me.
Yes, please, we can hear you.
All right, thank you very much. First and foremost, I would like to appreciate our presenters, our sincere gratitude to them for taking our time out of their very busy schedule to have this insightful session with us. You will all agree with me that at this stage of our careers, this session comes very apt as we plan for the present and then for the future as well. So thank you very much. Thank you for taking time out. Thank you for sharing from your wealth of experience and knowledge to us. We really appreciate that. Also, we also want to acknowledge the collaborative efforts of SP Ghana and SP Benin City in making this event a success. It's through such partnerships that we can continue to learn and grow and also continue to inspire each other. So we look forward to much more of this kind of collaborations. And to all the audience, it shouldn't just stop at learning. It's even more important for us to apply what we've learned to our daily lives and then our career as we go on. So once again, thank you to everyone involved, to the team that have been working behind the scenes to put this together. People have actually been working for more than a month now to put this together. So kudos to you guys as well. Thank you very much, everyone. We look forward to much more collaborations and much more engaging sessions than this. So let's have a wonderful day or evening ahead. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. So finally, I also want to thank my young professional committee chair in the person of Ms. Abna Yabua for giving me this opportunity to chair this program, and also to everyone in the group. Thank you all. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate this opportunity. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So finally, to our last item on our itinerary, we are all supposed to open our camera for a photo session. So please, if you can all just put your camera on so that we have our photo session, I'll be so glad. I'll be so glad. Please, is everyone's camera on? I mean, those who can put on their cameras, please put your cameras on. All right. Okay. Okay, I think most of the cameras are on. Thank you so much. So let's keep them on whilst we capture. All right. Hello. Um, Kelvin, please, have you guys been able to capture the photo? All right, I think so. So, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for joining. It's been a great session. Thank you from participants from the Ghana session, participants from SP, Nigeria, Benin session. We are truly grateful. Thank you so much for joining. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mohammed. Thank you.
Bye bye.